A roving reporter. Okay, so this is in the Virginia Pilot, our local newspaper for many years. Navy to take UFO sightings seriously. Pilots push for process to report aerial encounters. By Deanna Paul, The Washington Post. A recent uptick in sightings of unidentified flying objects, or as the military calls them, unexplained aerial phenomena, prompted the U.S. Navy to draft formal procedures for pilots to document encounters, a corrective measure that former officials say is long overdue. Since 2014, these intrusions have been happening on a regular basis. Joseph Cradisher, spokesman for the Deputy Chief of Naval Operations for Information Warfare, told the Washington Post on Wednesday, recently unidentified aircraft entered military-designated airspace as often as multiple times per month. We want to get to the bottom of this. We need to determine who's doing it, where it's coming from, and what their intent is. We need to try to find ways to prevent it from happening again. Citing safety and security concerns, Gradisher vowed to investigate each and every report. Luis Elizondo, a former senior intelligence officer, told the Post that the new Navy guidelines formalize the reporting process, facilitating data-driven analysis while removing the stigma from talking about UFOs, calling it the single greatest decision the Navy has made in decades. Chris Mellon, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and a staffer on the Senate Intelligence Committee, was less laudatorial. I don't believe in safety through ignorance, he said. And I'll have to pause to change to go to the next page. Scolding the intelligence community for its lack of curiosity, encourage failure to react to a strong pattern of sightings. In some cases, pilots, many of whom are engineers and academy graduates, say they've observed small spherical objects flying in formation. Others say they've seen white tic-tac-shaped vehicles. Aside from drones, all engines rely on burning fuel to generate power, but these vehicles all had no air intake, no wind, and no exhaust. It's very mysterious, and they still seem to exceed our aircraft in speed, he said, calling it a truly radical technology. According to Mellon, awestruck and baffled pilots concerned that reporting unidentified flying aircraft would adversely affect their careers tended not to speak up. And when they did, he said there was little interest in investigating the reports. Imagine you see highly advanced vehicles. They appear on radar systems. They look bizarre. No one knows where they're from. This happens on a recurring basis, and no one does anything, said Mellon, who now works with UFO data at a private organization. Because agencies don't share this type of information, it's difficult to know the full extent of activity. Still, he estimated that dozens of incidents were witnessed by naval officers in a single year, enough to force the service to address the issue. Pilots are upset, and they're trying to help wake up a slumbering system, he told the Post. Lawmakers' growing curiosity and concern also appeared to coax action out of the Navy. In 2017, the Pentagon first confirmed the existence of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, a government operation launched in 2007 to collect and analyze anomalous aerospace threats. As the Post, Joby Warwick reported, the investigation ranged from advanced aircraft fielded by traditional U.S. adversaries to commercial drones to possible alien encounters. Finally someone said the word alien, According to former Pentagon officials and documents previously seen by the Post, the program funding which totaled at least 22 million, was suspended in 2012. Wow, 22 million, huh? Elizondo, who also ran ATIP, a tip, said the newly drafted guidelines were a culmination of many things, most notably that the Navy had enough credible evidence, including eyewitness accounts and corroborating radar information, to know this is occurring. So, is this soft disclosure, hard disclosure?